we go.
Yeah.
Hey, how's everything in the green room? Did you get the pepper jack cheese tray in the virtual green room?
Unfortunately, you guys are slipping because
Oh
Oh
there
man,
was
man.
no pepper jack cheese on my
no pepper jack
charcuterie board.
cheese. Oh
Oh
my gosh,
man.
famous,
See what had
famous.
happened. What had happened was
Oh, okay. What had happened
brothers got
was,
hungry.
Yeah, the meat and cheese tray.
Yeah, I got here mad early and I got hungry, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right.
I might have
yeah,
snacked a bit.
yeah. I had to
All
have
that
a little
cheese
bit of
not all
grace.
that cheese not good for you, brother.
I know it's not. I mean, it was good. It was good going in though.
he lack he tolerates the lactose.
Yeah, I tolerate it.
He's very tolerant.
I can tolerate a little lactose.
Yes, yes. We got a great show coming up this evening.
Yeah,
We're
man.
excited. We're excited.
I think this was the show right here.
Oh, pretty much, right? We can
Yeah,
rap. We can rap right
we
now.
can wrap
Right?
it up. Hey, thanks for
Yeah,
coming, everybody. God bless you and good
yeah,
night.
yeah. Yeah, we just let you guys have a little peek into our virtual green room before
Yeah,
we actually
man.
come on.
We got
Hope
Miss
Right. It's
Mack
everybody
in
such a
is.
here.
beautiful, beautiful green room, by the
Yeah,
way.
Thank
appreciate
you,
that.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
See, we try to take
Seems
care
to
of
have
our
a wonder.
guests. Got your little goodie bag on
Absolutely.
your way out. We got the No Shortcuts T-shirt for you to take home with you.
Yes.
Which, hey, they are on the way.
That's right.
Once we hit a
You never
certain
can
number,
go wrong with merch.
That's right.
Like
nah, not
merch
at
is
all.
what it is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What up, Faith? Faith is here.
Faith is here. My sister's here.
Yeah.
Hi,
Make
Faith.
sure
Hey.
come on in the house. Feel free to share this, guys. We going
Yes.
live.
Tell everybody we're going live in about 5 seconds, y'all.
Tell a friend to
Five,
tell a
three
friend.
seconds.
Let's do a
Here
show,
we
y'all.
go.
That evening, a musical relationship slash friendship was born. Even with playing music on stage with other musicians, there has to be chemistry there, and at the same time, it's like you want to be able to have chemistry away from the stage as well. Because if you have chemistry away from the stage, your show and your stage presence and everything like that is
Yeah.
going to be
People
even
pick
greater.
up on it. Not just entertainment, what we do. We'll be talking to designers and entrepreneurs and people just trying to get their t-shirt brand popping. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your hustle is, this is Hustlenometry 101.
My
We
slogan for
gonna
my
all get
business, I
together.
love to say everyone needs a little faith.
Charlamagne the God would say sometimes you gotta roll it up for everybody. Like,
Yeah. Shout out to Lil C.
Yeah.
So like I told you, I got these.
Yeah, yeah, Brandon.
but
Yeah, Brandon.
last time I've been booed in my life.
That's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
We here live and direct.
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Yes, yes. Hello, you guys hear our guest back there. She's in the green room. Patiently
Chillaxing.
waiting. Yeah, yeah. If you were on for our little pregame 2-minute countdown, you had the pleasure to see her. We were just hanging out and entertaining each other while we let you guys come in.
Yeah.
You know,
Get you one.
we can get you one, it can get you two.
Yeah.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. It is another beautiful day in the neighborhood, yet with another installment of the No Shortcut Show with Midas and Fave.
Hey.
Give you guys a moment to gather yourselves, come on in. We know we always consider that as dinner time, so if you got your plate of food or a snack, go ahead and
Sure.
have a seat.
Tell
Set
us
your
what you're
device.
eating tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely tell us what you're eating so we can get hungry and be ready to eat our own food by the time
Absolutely.
we log off. Yeah, but we're
Absolutely.
excited. We got a wonderful guest in store for you guys tonight, and we're excited. We're excited.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
First of all, if it's your first time here, ladies and gentlemen, drop us a one in the comments. Our guy from last week, Josh Walker, is in the
What up,
building.
Josh?
What's good, my guy? Come on in. And
Josh is
ladies
on
and
his way to
gentlemen,
Myrtle Beach right now.
what's going on at Myrtle Beach?
Yeah. Little wedding action,
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, okay. Josh getting all the bags.
He's getting all the bags. Absolutely.
All the bags. All the
Faith
bags.
is having
Okay.
Greek
Faith.
shrimp salad.
Hey, that's my sister. What's up,
Yeah.
Faith? Love you. Thank you for joining us. Thank
Yeah,
my
yeah.
all of my family who join us and log on and support us week in and week out. We really appreciate you guys. Yeah, and this is
Absolutely.
being aired, folks, live on YouTube, live on Facebook,
Yeah, yeah.
and live on Twitch all
On
simultaneously.
the Twitch.
Yeah, yeah, we here. Welcome to our Twitch family. Welcome to our Facebook family. Welcome to our YouTube family. We're
Yes.
here. We're here.
Here we are,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
How
Yeah,
was your
yeah.
week, my man?
My week, last week and last weekend. Honestly, man, it's been we still on that. We still grinding out. We
Mm-hmm.
going late into the season this year. We're gonna probably be steadily booked until about mid-November.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
but let me backtrack. I did a well, first of all, let's see. We had rehearsals last week. You know, I got the Hall of Fame, the North
Yeah.
Carolina Hall of Fame inductions coming up.
Yeah.
So I rehearsed last Monday for that. Wednesday, Thomas Hunter from the chairman of the board and I did a restaurant gig in Cornelius at
Yeah.
Peninsula Prime. Very nice spot,
Nice.
Peninsula Prime.
Shout out to Thomas Hunter.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
So
those
we did
Mickey and
that.
Mooch days.
Yes, sir. You know, Mickey and Mooch uh, closed down,
Mm-hmm.
due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
When everything was shut down, they just never reopened. So
Yeah.
he and I hadn't done a little event like that in a while, but
Mm-hmm.
it was very nice. I was very impressed with the layout of the place, the
Mm-hmm.
faculty, staff, everybody real nice and hospitable, and the crowd was out. They were out and ready to have a good time
Good deal.
on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
and let's see, Friday was a private event for the chairman of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, where were we Saturday? I have to think. I know Sunday we were in Chester. Oh,
Yeah.
and Saturday was the wine festival in
Right.
Cary, North Carolina, the
Yeah.
North Carolina Wine Festival.
I
Yeah,
actually knew that. I
yeah,
was about to tell you. I knew you was in North Carolina somewhere because I looked you up on Saturday to see
yeah,
if you was in town because I was in Rock Hill for a
yeah,
wedding on Saturday and I knew it was going to be ending early. So I was
yeah,
like, let me see. And then I said, oh, he out of town anyway.
yeah.
I
Oh,
just
I
took it
meant
to the
to ask
crib.
you, did you hit Christy
I
up
did.
or I
I
did
did.
too.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah, because we got back from Cary.
Hmm.
Man, what time? Maybe like 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10ish. And I
Hmm.
was gonna grab a bite to eat on the
Yeah.
way in.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking
But
that same thing. I was like, I was done, I think, at 8:30, but I hit her up early in the day because I knew it was going to
yeah,
end early. So I hit her up like at 3 in the afternoon, but she never got
yeah,
back to me. So I was just like, I'm
yeah,
just going to take it to the crib. And then when I was on my way home, she was like, yeah, I was working tonight, but it was busy. I couldn't get to my phone. I was like, oh, I'm already home now.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Christy Lynn
Yeah, yeah.
at Christy Full Creations,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think you
Absolutely.
and I, we were on the same thought process. The way she responded to me made me think. I think she said, "Hey guys, I'm sorry," and
Hmm.
I was like, "Yo, I wanted it famous, or was he gonna stop by and
Yeah.
grab some with me in the area?" That's what's up. We was
Yeah.
on the same
We was
wavelength.
on the same page, man. But yeah, I just had a
Yeah.
little wedding in Rock Hill. It was nice, man. The couple, it was their second marriage, both of them, and so they're
Okay.
older couple. They got grown
Wiser.
kids. Yeah, older and wiser. Did it right, and
Yeah.
everybody had a good time though. Everybody had a good
Awesome.
time. That was my
Awesome.
week. That was
Awesome.
my weekend. Just one shot this
Yeah.
weekend.
Straight to the T. That's
Yeah,
good. So, and then I'll get into the proceedings toward the end of the show of what's coming up this week.
yeah,
But like
yeah.
I
Me
said,
too.
we still on the grind till
Yeah,
about mid November.
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shall we get our audience, if it's their first time, shall we get them
Oh,
familiar with our platform?
yeah, let's start. We didn't even start the show, did we? Let's open up the show, man.
Yeah.
Let's open up.
Hey,
Let's
we
have the show.
forgot there's an audience, huh?
We forgot to. We thought we were
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talking.
Yeah, let's do the introductions and then I'll let you get into the purpose or the mission
Sure,
of the show. Then
absolutely.
we'll bring
Let's
our
do that.
guest out who's waiting so patiently in the
Yes.
green room, and we like to apologize once again that we're missing a few things off the meat and cheese tray. I'm gonna blame I'm gonna blame TJ Favors. Is his fault,
Yes.
It's
You know,
but
always
charcuterie
nonetheless,
board.
you got to blame it on the producer. Blame it
yeah,
on the
I don't
producers.
listen. I don't want to take a chance
Yeah.
trying to pronounce that word
The
live.
charcuterie. You see how the see Midas is the talent, and I'm the producer. The talent just don't. You just don't even look out for the producer.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
my illustrious, highly esteemed co-host to the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, buddy.
This guy does many things. First and foremost, he is the co-host of this very platform. He's also the producer of this very platform that goes by the name of the No Shortcut Show with Midas and Fame. He's a digital media strategist as well as an event coordinator.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Travis Bizel,
Hey,
also known as your favorite DJ's favorite DJ, DJ
hey,
Favorite.
hey. Thank you, thank you,
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
Thank you. The Cash App is on the way, my man, for that
Yes, sir. You
introduction.
got it. You
Cash
got
App
it.
is
He
on
one
the
of
way.
them. He's one of them.
For sure. And I'm always joined, this guy right here, my co host, the A mic of this broadcast, music director of the chairman of the board, Rock Hill Hall of Fame musician of the band Mellow Groove.
Yes, sir.
He's also a MC. He can still spit the hot verses.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him one day.
Give him one.
One
Co
day.
host of this podcast and the That's My Story show on YouTube. Say what's up to Jerry Midas Hardison. What's up?
Evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for joining, man.
It's a
If this is
pleasure.
your first time, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, and I'm sorry. I just thought of my today's my nephew's birthday. My
Hey,
nephew Gavin. He's 12 years old today. So yeah. So Faith, Matt,
Happy
Mom is
birthday, Gavin.
yeah.
happy
I just got off
birthday,
the phone with
Gavin.
him a little bit ago. Happy birthday to my nephew
For
Gavin.
sure,
I
for
digress.
sure. That's all
Proceed,
right.
my brother.
You digress to proceed. This is the no shortcut show with Midas and Fam, and this show is just basically us sharing, our expertise when it comes to entrepreneurship, hustling. We started this show thinking, we all had a side hustle, a main hustle, or a dream or an idea that we wanted to turn into something else. And we started just sharing our stories and our plans and how we got to where we are now and some bumps along the road that we've encountered.
Yeah.
And we wanted to share that with you all and, make it a weekly thing. And we started out having, the first few episodes was like kind of on each subject. Each week was on a different subject that we wanted to tackle as far as getting into business and things like that. And then we said, hey, we know people.
Yeah.
We have a lot of friends and family that are also entrepreneurs and hustlers and people that want to get into business whether they haven't fully realized it yet, and we want to have them on to share their stories as well and their successes and things that they've learned along the way. And then 34 episodes later, here we are, man. No shortcuts.
Yeah, no shortcuts. And also, ladies and gentlemen, just to add on to what he said, by us sharing our stories and us having guests on to share their stories, you can take gems, jewels, whatever you want to call them. We can take from each other, and we can apply these things not only to business, but a lot of things I've said in previous episodes we can apply to life in
Right.
general. And
Absolutely.
and furthermore, we can build a community where we can network for
Hmm.
whatever service you may have versus a service that someone else can provide.
Yeah,
And you
buddy.
don't have to ask Facebook; you can ask No Shortcut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking
All right.
of providing services, tell them
Yes.
about our guest today, my friend.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, she is an entrepreneur herself. She's what I would like to call a hair and beauty specialist.
Mm.
She is the CEO of Ultra Care Hair and Beauty. And a lot of times when I get my hair done and I post pictures, a lot of people will hit me in the underneath the reply in the stories. Who does your hair? I'm looking for someone maybe for my grandson or this and that, or she does a wonderful job. Well,
Hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, you get a chance to meet her tonight. She's going to tell us all about her journey in her particular field, and maybe also enlighten us to some other things that she has going on
Hmm.
currently that she would like all of us to be a part of. So
Yeah.
without any further
Yes.
ado, please make some noise at home while we make some noise on the screen for Miss Katrina Mack of Ultra Care Hair and
Yeah.
Beauty.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
Hold on. Let me get you
you.
yeah,
the.
The
yeah,
queen is here. The queen is
Hey,
yeah.
here.
She's
that's
here.
right.
She's
That's
here
right.
now.
Let's
We
get
thank you so
into
much.
it.
You made it. Thank you for making it. Thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you guys for having me. So I'm really grateful and appreciative. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
excited.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of your story, I've been coming to you since before you had your own place. When I first was coming to you, you had another spot, and so I've seen the progression. So now when I come to you, you got your own business.
Hey.
And you're running. You got your products, and I know you're going to talk about all of that. But
Yes,
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 so
yes.
I've seen the growth, and you and I always have. conversations about being creative and having content, or whether it's marketing, branding. Just while I'm sitting there, or, and you're taking care of my hair, things like that. We have conversation that's
Right.
on about business and
Mm-hmm.
things, and just ideas.
Right.
So it's great to have you on and share those
Yes.
same sort of insights with our audience tonight. So we thank you.
Yes,
For
yes, no
sure.
doubt, no doubt. Ask
Yeah.
away. Ask all the things, all the
Oh,
questions.
we will.
Yeah. So like I said,
Wherever I can answer, I'll answer. And if I don't, I'll get back with you.
no
Nice.
doubt. That's
Thank
the
you.
intelligent thing to do
Yeah,
right
that's the
there.
community right there.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of information about your backstory, such as where you're born and raised, and a little bit about your childhood.
Okay, so again, per your introduction, I'm Katrina Mack. I'm the
Mhm.
owner of Ultra Care Hair and Beauty, located here at 1157 Saluda Street in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I'm also the owner of Textures by Ultra Care, which is our recent product line of natural products. We'll get into that later. But a
I
little
got
bit
some
about
of those.
me is I'm an 80s baby.
Hey.
I was born in Chester, South Carolina, and
Okay.
I went on to reside in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I was raised and attended school. Um, I got pregnant as a teenager. You know,
Hmm.
I'm an
Hmm.
80s baby. That was our
Hmm.
era. Like, that was our pandemic,
Yeah.
teenage pregnancy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
COVID was my second pandemic.
I got
The
you.
first was teenage pregnancy and
Yes,
the
that's
crack
an interesting
epidemic.
Yeah.
history.
So,
Yeah,
so technically it's our third.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you
Yeah.
born in the 80s.
For sure.
Right, right.
But yeah, so I got pregnant with my first child, and which got me back to Chester, South Carolina,
Hmm.
and I lived with my grandmother there. And so I had my son. I was very discouraged, as a
Hmm.
teenage mom. At that time it wasn't a lot of encouragement.
Yeah,
So I got stuck in this mindset of, having to figure it out, and, having to prove so many people wrong that I'm not going to be a failure. Just
right,
because I'm having this baby doesn't mean that my life is over.
Right.
That's not something that at that time I could have verbalized,
hmm
versus our generation today. Like, our generation today is a generation that would tell you just that.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
can't make me do this. I have my rights. Back then,
yeah.
we couldn't roll like that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So that was that was some of my trauma. That, I mean, I can recognize it as trauma now, but at that time
Sure.
I didn't. So
Hmm.
that went into my trauma bag. And
Hmm.
from there, all I did was work.
Hmm.
Like, I've been working since the age of 16.
Okay.
I got pregnant with my son at the age of 16.
Okay.
So it's like, after that, it was just work to take care of my children.
Sure.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um,
So, what kind of jobs were you doing at that time? What kind of odd jobs did you have starting from 16?
Starting from 16, so my first job was, that's a good question. No one's ever asked me that.
Yeah, he
So
got the question.
he got the questions.
He
Okay,
got the
I'm here for
question.
it. All right, so my first job was McDonald's.
Okay.
That was Wilkinson Boulevard, Charlotte.
Hey.
Okay.
And then my second job, which was my first job in Chester, was Hardee's on the
Okay.
bypass. And
Okay.
then I went from Hardee's to Black and Decker. And then from Black and Decker, it was pretty much manufacturing jobs,
Yeah.
going through like temp services, hired, work 3 months,
Yeah. Yeah.
the assignment end, go to another
Mhm.
manufacturing company, until I got to Ross Distribution. I
Okay.
actually started working at the store first.
Mhm.
I worked at the store for like a year, and then I went into the distribution center, and I was there for like 2 years.
Nice.
Okay.
After that, I got a job at a manufacturing company in Chester, South Carolina, by the name, well, at the time it was Culture Stone. It's
Okay.
Boral now. It's a veneer stone manufacturing company.
Okay.
I went in there as a painter on third shift, and when I that was my last job because once I got in
Yeah.
there, I grind my
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I went in third shift as a painter.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got promoted to color coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got promoted to another coordinator on another line. Then I initially got promoted into environmental health and safety department of the company,
Wow.
which I
Okay.
then was responsible for the training
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
implementation of the safety programs that the company had,
Mm-hmm.
all
Okay.
from a site, um, state, and federal
Mm-hmm.
codes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that was
Wow.
Yeah.
that. Worked there for many, many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
They got bought out,
Uh-huh.
and my son, I never forget it. I had just moved. Well, before moving to Rock Hill, I endured some really, really, really hard trauma in my life. Like it was the worst I ever experienced when it came
Mm-hmm.
to loss. I lost a cousin of mine that I grew up like a brother of mine. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he was about 4 years older than me, and he
Mm-hmm.
passed away. And like a couple weeks after that, a little cousin of mine that was like a son to me because he grew up with
Yeah.
my boys.
Mm-hmm.
We lost him in a tragic accident. You know, he
Okay.
was leaving the tournament, the basketball tournament. What is
Mm-hmm.
it called?
Which
Uh,
one? The
which the
The
one
TBC?
young
in
Oh.
the
the
what is it
CIAA
called?
one, the one in Charlotte?
No, he was a teenager. He was
Like
Oh,
14.
okay. Oh,
AAU?
like AAU.
AAU?
AAU?
Yeah, yeah. So he was
Okay.
leaving one of those events, and they were in a horrible car accident. And you know, he was 14 at the time, and all of that happened like right there together. It was very, 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 very traumatic.
I can
So I
imagine.
ended up moving to Rock Hill because in my time in Chester, it wasn't good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Chester was good for me, and it wasn't good for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I mean, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like God aligned all that to happen. I know
Mm-hmm.
that now. Then I didn't,
Right.
but I needed that.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
taught me a lot about people, and it taught me a lot about family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting.
after enduring all of that, I moved to Rock Hill to get my kids out of Chester. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I knew that I needed to position them in a better place.
Sure.
I knew I didn't want to move back to Charlotte with my young kids. So Rock Hill was the soft
Yeah.
spot.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So once we got here, my son, he was, all over the place. He was a teenage young man, then, he had a lot of female
Mm-hmm.
energy guidance and not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Okay.
male energy guidance.
Yeah.
Got you.
So,
Okay.
you know, you
Yeah.
know where
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I ended up losing my job. I had been working there for almost 10 years. And so
Mm-hmm.
I ended up losing my job there because of a situation with my son. He got into some trouble and he called me on my work phone.
Mm.
And long story short, I ended up being terminated
Yeah.
behind that phone call.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And after that, the rest is history.
So
Yeah.
how long were you at that job?
Almost 10 years I
Wow.
was there.
Wow, and it started, I mean, I was thinking as you were telling that story, like you started from like the bottom level and worked
Yes, I
your way
did.
up to all these different positions of authority and important things in that company within a 10-year span. That's already a testament to the hustle,
Yeah.
for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. And I can honestly say I really worked hard. It's kind of discouraging at the time because people don't give you credit for your knowledge.
Sure.
People don't give
Mm-hmm.
you credit for your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
People always feel like somebody gave you something.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really understand that. I went through
Mm-hmm.
all kind of trauma there. People feeling like, I got certain positions because I knew people or I
Mm-hmm.
slept with a person.
Sure.
And it's like, look, I don't, I'm intelligent.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether you guys know that about me or not, but I
Yeah.
know how to interview, I know how to lead. I'm a leader. I was born a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, it was crushing. you know,
Yeah.
and to have that type of energy around you, and people you're not truly feeling that support, that
Yeah.
people support you for
Right.
promotion.
Yeah.
Right. Because that makes a difference. When you're doing
Yes.
your thing, you have to feel like you have that support that's behind you. And I can also kind of put myself in your shoes, so to speak. Like, if you being at work and your child calls you and something going on, I can
Right.
understand you might have to tiptoe on out right quick and see what's going on and get your child squared away and things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So is
But
that is that
what I learned from that, they didn't give a poop
yeah. That's
about
the
me
sad
or my
part about
family.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
You
about
know what
what
I'm
you were
saying?
doing for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a
That's
lesson
the
I learned in that.
yeah, for sure. And so that led into you exploring the hair and beauty business, or
So
or were you already dipping and dabbing, as they say?
no, like
No.
to be real with y'all, I never did kitchen hair. I ain't never hustled as a stylist.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
It
Wow.
wasn't in my plan.
Yeah.
Hence,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, we always
Yeah.
laugh at
That you
the
it
my
was a
plan.
Yeah.
it
The
was in
Yeah,
his
plan.
it
plan
wasn't a
though.
part of my plan. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like I never, to be honest with you guys, I never looked at doing hair as a meaning to provide
Yeah.
Yeah.
a healthy livelihood for my family.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
You know, my cousin slash brother, at the
Hmm.
time that I told you that passed away, you know,
Yeah.
he did it. Now he was a hustler. Now he'd be
Hmm.
in that little green truck and be
I go
Chester,
around.
Raquel, Charlotte. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, he was a pull up stylist. You know, he
Right.
started
Right.
doing hair in his mom's kitchen,
Hmm.
and everybody knew him for it. But you know, watching him, you know, I didn't see a lot of structure or
Sure.
Yeah.
anything that made me want to be like, oh man, I want to do that. When you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never saw that.
Yeah. So how did it come about that you got into it? Because that is interesting because I think oftentimes people that we cross paths with who do a certain thing, they kind of were involved with it at an
Yeah.
earlier
Kind of coming
stage, and
up.
then yeah, and then so
Right.
I'm curious to know how you did get into being interested in doing hair and beauty things like that.
So when I break this down to y'all, it's just a testament of God. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying?
We have that talk on here
Because
too
Every
I
week.
have to give
every
him
week.
all the praise. Like I have
Hmm.
to give God all the praise. And I know it's God, and it's
Hmm.
been God because of how easy
Mm.
and
Wow.
effortlessly it's been.
Hmm.
All those other things, I had to work so hard. I had to do so much. I had to
Yeah.
go through so much. But this has been pretty
Hmm.
easy, I must
Yeah.
say. All
Yeah.
praises to the Most High.
That's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
But what happened, so my son got in some trouble. That was in November, right?
Okay.
Just November of 2012,
Hmm. Okay.
2012.
Huh.
Um, November.
Hmm.
I end up going out. I was scheduled to go out December for a surgery because I had just found out that I had endometriosis and I
Okay.
was going to need a partial hysterectomy, right?
Okay.
So I was supposed to go out for that surgery December 18th of 2012.
Okay.
I ended up going out of work earlier because that phone call that I got that I eventually got terminated for was my son calling saying that he had been incarcerated. He had been locked up, and that was the only number that he could remember to reach out to me on.
Yeah.
I still remember it
Wow.
to this day, 803-377-9767. Like,
Hmm.
it's an easy number.
Yeah.
They took his cell
Yeah.
phone, and it was one of those things. So that night when he called me on the job at my desk, I'm upstairs, and then I was working like a weird shift because, my kids were in school, and I had an awesome manager, Bruce Emery. Like, that man will forever be in my heart. and in my
Okay.
prayers.
Mhm.
Bruce Emery was a God fearing man. He was a blessing, like right there in front of me.
Yeah.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I remember calling him after that phone call I got from my son, and I think that was the first time I actually had a panic attack because
Okay.
after I got off the phone with him, I went downstairs to the bathroom and I couldn't breathe. Like I just, I was already dealing with my health issues and it was having to go out for a hysterectomy, and then finally hearing from my son, because I hadn't heard from him in almost like a week,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
still having to show up and work,
And
right?
work. Yeah. Wow.
So it's like when I got that phone call, nothing else mattered.
Sure.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't think
Yep.
about, I did ask him, why did you call me on this phone? And that's when he was like, Mom, that's the only number I knew to call.
Right.
So after that, I went downstairs, I boohooed, I called my manager, and I was like, look, I need to leave out earlier.
Hmm.
So I went out for my surgery leave a little earlier because a week prior to that, I had went to the emergency room because I couldn't breathe. And I had a severe sinus infection, and the doctor was like, listen, we can't we can't we can't put you under with this sinus infection and bronchitis. So you need to get yourself cleared up
Yeah.
by
Hmm.
December 18th when you
Uh-huh.
come in for the surgery. So I ended up leaving out earlier, and I was already in attending York Technical College
Okay.
for a business degree.
Uh-huh.
So I was also doing that too.
Okay. Full plate.
Hustling,
Right.
hustling.
So December 18th, I went out for the surgery. January 8th, 2013 now, I go back to work. I'm refreshed. I done been to court with my son. I done all these things. I done had the surgery. I'm healing more from the two deaths of my close
Right.
family members. So I'm trying to get it's a new year. You know how it is at the
A lot
beginning,
going on.
new year, new
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
trying to get
About to
Oh,
get
myself
that.
right.
it.
They kill it, right?
Yeah.
So after all that stuff I done been through in 2012, I was that person. I ain't gonna fret. I was a
Yeah.
new year, new me person in
Right.
2013 because I needed to get some of that stuff off,
Sure.
Yeah.
some of those burdens off of me. So
Absolutely.
January 8th came around and I was finally, the doctor released me. I could go back to work. I go back
Uh-huh.
to work January 8th,
Uh,
2013. January 14th, 2013, I got terminated.
okay. Wow. So less than a week.
Yeah, less
Wow.
than a week. I
Right.
got terminated because of that phone call that
Okay.
happened
Right.
that previous November.
Right.
Wow.
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 Jeez.
But
I was done. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
yeah.
So in other words, they let you come back and everything, right? And then use that as a reason for termination.
Yeah.
Yes,
So the
that
phone
was the
call
reason.
itself happened, yeah, and the phone call itself was basically what 2 months prior to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow, wow,
That's
okay,
crazy.
wow,
But I have
yeah,
yeah.
I have a feeling that termination happened for a reason.
Amen, it did. But
Yeah.
listen, bro, I'm telling you, you couldn't have told me that then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could not have told me that
Definitely.
then. Listen, I called everybody that it was to call about that
Mm,
termination. I
Yeah.
yeah,
felt, I felt raped.
yeah, like they took something from you,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that you worked hard for.
and I was like, listen, like just being brutally honest. I done left my kids at home. You know what I'm saying? The older
Yeah.
ones taking care of the younger
Yep.
ones.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm a single black mom trying to give my kids the best I can with what I have. And, my main focus is, like I said at the beginning, was making sure that I don't fail as a mom.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because
absolutely,
that target was placed on me as a 16-year-old teenager.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. It's different.
Right. So
Yeah,
now I'm like, I'm going into panic because I feel like a failure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like I had too much of me in them.
Sure.
Is what God needed me to see because it's like, well, nope, it's right here in paperwork. You violated this. It was an ethical this and
Yeah.
all that technical stuff that they like to do
Oh
when they
yeah, oh
pretty much
yeah.
just want to get
And the
rid of
fine
you.
print,
Yeah.
Um,
the fine print,
right.
yeah.
And as a EHS employee, listen, I dealt with a lot of maintenance technicians, a lot of outside contractors because I'm responsible for their training when they come on site, right?
Okay.
So I've literally seen
All kinds of policies being broken.
all kind of stuff
I know. I
being
know.
broken,
Oh
stuff
Yeah.
that could
man.
cause harm
Sure.
Right.
to them or others.
Uh-huh.
And you do
And this the
me
one.
like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
Right.
when I'm just trying to be a mom.
A
Yeah.
good mom, yeah.
Right.
And things
Yeah.
happen with kids, with our children,
So,
and you have to go see about them. You have to go
right,
see
excuse me.
about
So it's like,
That's
oh
them.
it.
Right,
my
right.
gosh. But long story short, after that happened in January
Hmm.
and June, I want to say. I started going to Kinderschuler School of
Okay.
Cosmetology here in Rock Hill. And it was pretty
Hmm.
much after searching for other jobs. And, I've had all these years of experience on this job. So it's like now I'm stepping into a market of employment opportunities in that business sector. But
Uh,
that's the only experience I have is with that company.
Mm-hmm.
And I
okay.
hadn't yet finished and got my degree yet. So it was hard.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
being at that company for so long, I built up a lot of seniority and my pay was good. My pay was great. I had a car, I had an apartment. I ended up losing everything, guys. Everything I had. I ended
During
up
the
losing.
transition.
Yeah.
I lost everything. I lost my apartment. I lost my car. I ended up having to move back home at the age of 34 with 4 kids and a dog with my mom.
Yeah.
Wow.
And and I see what you mean, and I struggle. I had some of this in my former career as well because everything that you did, all the experiences that you did on that job, is not really transferable to another job. So when you're trying to
Nope.
look for another, you were a senior, you know, in charge of people and important stuff, and then when you go
Yep.
to find something else that's not in that specific position into
Yep.
another industry, they're like,
Yep.
okay, well, what's this? It's just
Wow.
it's not a
Yep.
transferable skill, and I hate that.
Mm.
I hate
It's
that.
Yeah,
not.
that's a good point. I
Yeah,
never thought of it like that, but yeah, that's a
yeah.
great point. Great point.
So so it
Go ahead.
sounds like so after that termination happened, you spent a few months trying different things, and you'd had so if I'm understanding this, you had no inclination towards beauty or doing hair prior to this until you
No.
tried everything and said, well,
No,
let me
I
just
thought
try
I
the
was gonna
school.
retire as an EHS
Yeah. Wow.
person. I thought I was gonna retire from that job. That's
Wow.
that's how far my personal mind went.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow.
You know, and if God hadn't intervened, it's not like I would have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna quit my job and start my own business."
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That was just
I
not in the
wasn't thinking
plan.
about hair. I
Yeah.
was not
Yeah.
thinking about. I've never done hair and got paid for it prior
Mm.
to cosmetology school.
Yeah,
Never. I never did. I ain't never did nobody's hair, and and I played in hair. Growing up, in
of
Charlotte, me and
course.
my cousins.
Sure.
I always enjoyed it because as
Mhm.
a kid, like no shade, mom, but my mother was horrible.
Have to get each other. Hey, can you fix this up for me right here?
Listen, I love my mother,
Hey,
but
mom.
listen, she gave me those. She was able. She give me those two, French braids
Yeah.
Yeah.
and send me on. But it's I'm in middle school going into high, so
Yeah.
it's
Crazy.
like come on. So now
Yeah.
I got to experience. I'm playing in my head, and it comes naturally. And
Yeah.
it's one thing I want to share with the audience is that we are all born with something.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
That's a
we are
common.
all
Yeah.
born. Like God gave us each something
Yeah.
to open up doors for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
have something.
That's a fact.
So that makes me realize why it's easy. It came naturally. Like
Yeah.
I ain't never did no kitchen hair. I don't have
Mhm.
that story. It
Mhm.
sounds good, but that's not me. It's not me. Like I
Yeah.
really can't
Yeah.
sit here and say, when I was 10 years old,
Yeah.
I said we was, it was my cousin's dream.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
amazing, And shout out to Faith. Faith says, hearing your story reminds me of Fantasia's song about losing it all to win again. You definitely won. You definitely won.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Faith.
And I can
Thank
Yeah.
you,
tell
That's a
you,
good
sister.
story right
I
there.
just had to throw away my whole book of questions that I already had because I was thinking, she probably grew up doing all her people's hair at home, her sisters, her cousins, doing all this, and then everybody said, "Girl, you need to do hair for a living." That wasn't. I
Yeah.
just threw everything away because that wasn't your story.
I mean, that's how God go. That's how God
Yeah,
works. You
absolutely.
Yeah.
had
And
a
all
Yeah.
you,
And
plan.
what?
Look, you had a plan. He
yeah,
intervened.
you had
Yeah.
to take a step. All you had to do is take a step.
Yeah. And what we may
Yeah.
consider to be a setback is actually a setup. You
Yes.
know, for
It really
the next
was.
thing.
It really was. Because I'm gonna be very vulnerable and transparent with you guys right now. I had some level. I'm mature enough to recognize it and speak on it now, but then I didn't. It was anger. And I had resentment towards my oldest son
Okay.
about
Sure.
that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Uh.
saying? And it
Uh-huh.
bothers me to hear me say that out loud,
But that's
It's
but
real.
therapeutic
It's
that's
though.
real.
my truth.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
Yeah.
real.
saying? That's my truth. Like it's like and then because it was like God, if he straighten up, if he get, if this is what has to happen, for my son to get himself together, then
Yeah.
I don't mind losing it all. You
Yeah.
you can have it,
Yeah.
but then it's like, God still was working on him and he was still going through stuff, and then it turned into like, I can't believe you still out here doing this.
Mhm.
Look at us. I done already lost the house. That's hurt people hurting people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Definitely.
I'm more than confident to know that traumatized my son in some sort.
Yeah.
Oh, I
You
Absolutely.
know
can
what I'm saying?
imagine.
Feeling like, that was his fault. That's not what
Yeah.
I was intentionally trying to do, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's like it was like trying to use a scare tactic to be like, you see what we lost,
Yeah.
we
Right.
don't
Yeah.
have nowhere
Yeah.
to live. Like, why are you still out here doing crazy stuff?
Right.
Yeah. I
But
get it. I get it. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I ended up apologizing to my son about that, but I ended up telling him um it was actually how I ended up going to elevation, and it was like one of the first sermons, excuse me. I didn't know I
Mm-hmm.
was going to cry.
It's
It's
all right.
okay.
It's
But
all right.
Oh,
it was one of my it was one of the sermons when Pastor Stephen was talking about changing the perspective. And so that made me look at my life at that time as something different. That
yeah.
made me look at it from, God's plan versus my plan. And I apologize to my son because I tell him now, if it hadn't been for you,
Yeah. Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Exactly.
There
Yeah.
you
It's
go.
perspective is everything.
Yep.
And
Yep.
perspective is
sometimes we have to
everything.
mature.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we
So
and some it takes growth, experience, and maturity to gain that proper perspective. Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Absolutely.
hard. It was
That's
hard.
awesome.
Yeah.
Faith loves
Wow.
Stephen Furtick too. She watches sermons online every morning. And I was just thinking as you were saying that, just about the journey and how, at this age, after 10 years, 10 plus years in a career that you thought was your thing,
Yeah.
then, you found out what your thing actually was. And I just thought about the sermon from this past week.
Oh,
When he was talking about, you know,
Right.
Abraham was 85 years old before he found out what his purpose was. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Never too
And it
late.
takes some time. And it's
Uh-huh.
funny that you mentioned that. God, I wish there was somebody else here. It's only me. But it's like if I had a known, or if you had a known, like
Mhm.
my mom, she loves me so much.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's like her worry was not only me, but her grandchildren as well, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like, when I said I'm going to go to hair school, she didn't welcome it with open arms at
Sure.
first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like I say,
It's new.
she
It's
ain't
a
never
new
seen me
thing.
do no hair. She ain't never seen me do no hair, make no money. So
What
it's
you know
like,
about doing hair?
you know what you talking
Yeah.
about, girl? Ain't nobody got time to be playing. You got to take
Yeah.
care of these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was like having to go through that part as well. You know, it wasn't a lot of support. You know, I didn't have a lot of cheerleaders.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it didn't make sense.
Right. Right. Sometimes it don't make sense. Up
Not to
front,
us. Yeah.
it'll make sense on the back end.
Yeah.
You
Right.
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
It don't
Especially
have to
when we
make sense to
operating in the
us.
divine realm. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense up front all the time. But once
It
you get to
does
that back
Absolutely.
not.
end, yeah.
So
Yeah. Wow.
I'm living in
It's kind of
Charlotte. I'm back in Charlotte at my mom's. I didn't want to take my kids out of Rock Hill schools because they loved their school and they was
yeah.
doing really well, right?
Yeah.
So I had one at Rock Hill High, two at Dutchman. No, one at Rock Hill High, two at India Hook
Okay.
Elementary, and one at
Elementary. Yeah.
Dutchman Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I was going to Kenneth Schuler in the morning and York Tech in the evening.
Mm.
So that was my
Wow.
day every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
I would have to leave Charlotte early, hit 485, hit 77,
Wow.
go down that busy Celanese road with all that
You know it.
unfamiliar traffic. Like I don't
Yeah.
know where
Yeah.
those people be going.
Where
I
they
mean,
going?
Me
it's like
either. They be going though
where are these people going? Like I don't get
at the
it.
same
But
time.
Yeah.
it be
Yeah.
so much hella traffic on Celanese. So it's like
Yeah.
going down through there. I gotta drop one off at Dutchman Creek, drop the two off at India Hook. Then I gotta get back on 77 to go to Rock Hill High, drop my
Yeah.
son off at Rock Hill High. Then I gotta be at Kenneth Schuler by 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go to Kenneth Schuler, and then 2 days out the week, Tuesday and Thursday, were long days of us being in Rock Hill before having to go
Oh,
back to
look.
Charlotte because I had to go to York Tech from
Yeah.
6 to 9.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a busy schedule.
That
And
is. That's
the
a
name of our platform is called
no
No Shortcuts.
no
You
shortcuts.
definitely you definitely didn't have
Yeah.
any
Did it the
shortcuts,
long
you
way.
know.
And then this
And
Nobody
eventually.
knew. Nobody
yeah.
knew. When I did my speech at Kenneth Schuler, because I graduated from Kenneth Schuler July 30th,
Mhm.
2014, and August 8th,
Okay.
2014, I graduated, which like a
Mm.
week or so later,
Wow.
I
Yeah.
graduated from YTC. So it's like I got
Wow.
my cosmetology license in
Mm-hmm.
July, and August I got my degree from York Tech, my business
Wow.
And
degree. So
the
I
Yeah.
got
business
them
degree,
right
so
there
they go
together.
hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
They
when
go
I
Wow.
was
hand in
Wow.
telling my
hand.
Wow.
speech, I was telling my speech right at the school, and it was like they was like,
Yeah,
we
no.
had no idea you
Yeah.
was doing all this. Like you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when like how did you
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You had
listen?
motivation from within with the help of God, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All things are possible.
It wasn't even motivation, bro. I wasn't
Yeah.
motivated. I
You
was
wasn't
just doing what
motivated.
I needed to do. I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was
But
not
isn't
thinking
that being
like that.
motivated though? Isn't
Yeah.
doing what you need to do, isn't that being motivated?
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yes.
Absolutely.
From that
that's
perspective,
on a
yes.
ground level, you know, like doing what
Yes.
you need to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
And
know how you get so accustomed to something?
uh-huh.
Like I still was able to show up and smile
Mm.
and
Yeah.
help others.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew. I still am to this day am very, very good at covering up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get
Yeah.
it.
So
I
it's
get it.
like at the end of the day, after all of that at night, I cried myself to sleep.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because
It was hard
you
work.
yeah, and you were trying to be the consummate professional
Mm-hmm.
and getting your business tended to and handling
Yeah.
things with your degree and
Yeah.
going to cosmetology school. So yeah, you were trying to be or you were being a professional,
And
and
being
that's what
that
it
rock
takes.
for everybody else.
Yeah, and then that's what it takes
I was
sometimes when you
tired,
get to the
boss.
house, and
Whew.
Yeah.
then you, I can imagine. Now, as I said earlier, now, so when I first started coming to you, you were at a certain spot downtown. Shout out to Mr. Barnes and them over there.
Oh, okay, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you. I'm gonna speak on that. So actually,
sure.
that was a pit stop. You
Hmm.
met me
Yeah,
during a pit
of
stop.
course. Okay, okay.
So I had a
Proceed.
salon. My first salon actually was on East White Street.
Okay,
And I was there for almost 3 years.
okay.
So when I lost that salon, which was another part of my life where God, it's like when God humbled me, he put the hammer down. It's like when he get
Yeah,
ready to elevate me, like he
yeah,
take me all, like he
yeah.
let me feel all the things. I feel
Uh-huh.
everything, every inch of it.
Right,
But
right.
then on the back end, he gets all the glory, and that's pretty much
Absolutely.
that's all that matters. But
Yeah.
I ain't gonna front. Like every time he is getting ready to elevate me, it hurts
Mm.
so badly
Sure.
Yeah, purpose for the pain, though.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I lost that salon. That's a whole nother story. But I ended up losing that salon. I had just like lost like $8,000 because right before that I was thinking that I was about to upgrade to a bigger salon, and I was gonna go into a partnership, and that didn't work out. And again, so many things that was just, going,
Yeah,
going, going,
Yeah.
going, going.
piling up
And
at
then that,
once.
right.
Yeah.
At that time I had a little breast cancer
Uh-huh.
scare. Like I found a lump and I was going through that, and it just sitting here saying everything out loud, it honestly makes me
Yeah.
even more humble.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went through that and I ended up, it was August. Um, it was 2019,
Okay.
2018,
28 tonight.
16, 17. Yeah, because it was back to school. Back to school was gonna be that following week.
Uh,
I ended up losing the salon that Monday or Tuesday,
okay.
and I was in Antonio's working that Friday.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I got to Antonio's, I was there for, I told myself, because by now I know how powerful I am, right?
Had a little
Hmm.
taste of it.
I got to
Yeah.
like, so now I know what
Yeah.
to
A little
do now with,
taste.
you know what I'm saying? With stuff getting, with stuff getting going,
Yeah.
Like
okay,
Jack.
pray, okay, wait, manifest, meditate, wait and listen and hear from God. Like I
Yeah.
learned that,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
during
Yeah.
all of those, in my, from my perspective, traumatic moments, you
Right.
know, I learned how to trust God and strategize.
Wow.
Mm.
Trust God and
Yeah.
strategize. Love it.
Yeah. And you weren't at Barnes very long.
Yeah.
I told myself I was going to be there for 1 year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I went in August of 2019. July of 2020, I
Mm-hmm.
opened this salon and
Okay.
started work from out
Hey,
of
hey,
this house.
hey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For
And and
sure.
and real quick, I gotta give her a shout out because even during the pandemic, me having my son and parenting, being a single father with the days with me, she didn't allow kids at the shop, but she allowed, me to bring
Oh.
Isaiah. She would put the TV on the
See,
cartoon.
you're supposed to keep that
No,
on
but
the
but
Oh,
low.
hold on,
now
I want
everybody
let
gonna
me
be in there trying to bring their
no no no
kids now.
let me
They're
finish.
gonna be like, you let him do it.
Let me finish. But that's because I am who I am.
There we
Right.
go.
Y'all,
There we
y'all
go.
can't, everybody can't get that.
That's it. That's it. Cause I'm
But
me.
yeah, yeah, y'all me. I'm just playing.
No,
It's
but
But
true.
we're joking about it, but on some realness, I'm gonna speak on the real reason why, if I may.
sure.
Yes, please.
It's not too often that you see a black man that's been as intentional with their son as I've seen you be.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
appreciate that.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? And you
Mhm.
shared, somewhat of what you was going through at the time, but
Mhm.
without even having to speak so much, I
Mhm.
felt what you was going through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, as people and as human beings and children of God, like that's what's supposed to make the world go round.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a
Sure.
fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? I was very
Mhm.
compassionate in that moment because I've been in the place of having to be a single parent and have to figure it out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
let's give him some
Yes.
hands.
Let's give Midas. Give Midas a
Y'all are
round of
too,
applause
y'all
for
far
sure.
too kind.
For
Y'all
sure.
far too kind. We tried to give Katrina her
I
flowers
know. This
today.
is for
No,
Y'all,
we
Katrina
need to get
right
you.
here.
Listen,
yeah.
Yeah.
come on,
I,
Black
Absolutely.
appre-
fathers.
I
Absolutely.
Yes.
appreciate it. I appreciate that
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah,
So
yeah.
now,
So,
so 2 years into the Ultra Care Empire, and at the spot you're at now, what's the empire looking like?
yeah.
So we have 3 stations, 3 shampoo bowls. I have a braider here. It's myself and a braider. And right now, we're just in the mode of elevation. We're trying to strategize as much as we can, plan as much as we can. Um, Inflation is real and it's
Yeah.
hard. The salon has taken some huge hits,
Sure.
you know, but that's when you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can say God has blessed me with is how to
Figure it out.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we all should have a little bit of that experience after 2020 to a degree,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
We should have
Exactly.
uh, a little bit of experience or what wherewithal of how to figure some
Yes.
stuff out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially
So
yeah,
one of the things that was I figure it out
yeah,
is Textures by Ultra Care, which is
hmm
our product line. It's an all natural product, and it's cruelty free. The manufacturing company is based out of the United States. I wanted to make sure I was very intentional about that.
absolutely,
No animals or humans were
yeah,
harmed in the
yeah,
process
yeah. There
of
you
this
go.
product.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And,
Yeah,
it's just being able to cut out the middleman. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like being a stylist and sending my clients to, these beauty supply stores that don't know nothing about curls. They don't know nothing about texture. They just know that it's new product you get and it's best thing and you know what I'm saying? You buy and they buy it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
saw what you did just
Yeah.
now.
Right. And you buy it. And so it's like, why are you buying what they tell
Oh
you to
my
buy?
god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Do
sure.
they
And
have the kind of hair that you have, first of
Yeah.
all?
yeah,
Exactly.
right,
Exactly.
yeah. You're
So
right. Facts.
it's like cutting out that middleman and being able to say, listen, I can stand behind my product because one, underneath this wig that I wore for you
Mhm,
guys tonight, I
mhm.
got a head full of thick curls.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I get it. I'm
Mhm.
relatable. I'm relatable to my clients
Yeah.
when they tell me, sis, I got major shrinkage. You know what? Me too,
Yeah,
because I might lay down feeling like Beyonce and wake up and it's
right. Whole
I got a
different
little
thing.
fade. I got a
Yeah.
fade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how much my
Yeah,
hair just shrunk up.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. And I got some of the what is the hair sheen.
Okay.
A
Yes,
couple of
yes,
yeah,
which
and
is
it
great for
smells
your
so good.
hair and your beard. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
it's for hair period.
See,
And
Right.
that's
Midas is not just a spokesman; he's a client himself.
I'm yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
a
Yes,
client. You know
That's
yes,
what I'm
right.
yes,
saying?
yes,
Great
yes.
Appreciate
product,
that.
man. Yeah.
So
And
we
she got
have
a t-shirt on. You got your
yes,
t-shirt
Got
on
your
with
merch?
the
this
brand.
this is our merch. This is our
Yeah.
launch day
Uh-huh.
shirt. So
Yes,
we
yes.
we we designed this shirt we launched the product back in July.
Okay.
9th, the weekend
Mm,
before my birthday. I
okay.
turned 42.
All
Sweet.
right. All right. Yeah.
So that was my gift
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
myself
You
to
got to do it
launch
sometimes.
Yeah.
to launch another business and to give myself more to do.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
gift to
A
myself.
serial entrepreneur right here.
Serial
So if
entrepreneur.
somebody wants to get some of the beauty products, how can they do that? Where can they find it?
So they can visit our website, which is www.ultracare with a K.com.
I'll
ULTRAKARE.
put that in the comments.
I got it in there.
Okay. There we go.
There
Yes,
you go.
and they can follow me on platforms. My brand name is the Curl Curator.
All right. That's on IG, right?
That's on IG, and my business, my professional page on Facebook is also listed as the Curl Curator.
IG and Facebook is the Curl Curator.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the product has its own professional page, Textures by Ultra Care, and of course the salon has Ultra Care Hair and Beauty. That
Yeah.
has a page too. So I'm a
Sweet.
serial social
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
media
yeah.
page
Absolutely.
person.
You got to. You
Absolutely.
got to.
It's
And
so hard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And they can book their appointments on your website also, correct?
Yes, so all of those pages have the link embedded in all of those pages. They can book directly through the website or they can book on any of my social media platforms.
Good
Yeah. And
deal.
you want to tell the audience about some of the services that you offer
So
there
I don't know if I
center?
said this in my, I don't know, we just been talking about so much, but I specialize
Sure.
in natural hair, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
specialize
yeah.
in natural hair. My specialty is curls, cuts, and color.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah.
I enjoy natural hair because it's like art for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm,
I am too creative and all over the place to do the same thing all day long.
Yeah.
yeah.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah.
couldn't just do a particular thing every
Mhm.
day.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have probably been at the game a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I get
Um,
it.
but I love doing natural hair because, each person has their own little canvas, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm a very artsy person.
Mm-hmm.
I see things. I'm a visionary. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't like to look at the same thing like
Mm-hmm.
all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's intriguing for me when a person can come in and they both are natural, right? They both
Mhm.
have a head full of curls, but each person's curls say
They're gonna be
something
different.
differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get it.
So I can do the same technique on both of those people, but they're not gonna walk out of here looking the same.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense.
That's an
And
artist.
I'm gonna go ahead and put locks under your specialty too because you do a wonderful job. There's times
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
show up after I see
Thank
watching and
you. I
twisting and I
appreciate it.
want a
Yeah.
style. I pull up something on my phone that I've been looking
Mm-hmm.
at. I'm like, can you do this style? And she'll
Yeah.
look at it and she'll hook it up.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
and
you.
good. And
I
also
Absolutely.
before
appreciate
we
it.
hmm?
We're gonna play one of those videos. Did you get
Well,
those
yeah, I
videos?
got that, and I also want to give you a chance before we
Okay.
close out to promote the fashion show because I got that right here.
Hey.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, of course, we are being showcased in the Back to the 90s hair and fashion show. It's going to be here in Rock Hill, guys. Listen,
Hmm.
it's Sunday, October 30th. And like I said, I was born in the 80s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I was raised in the 90s.
That's
90s.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So hear
Absolutely.
me and
Right.
hear me loud and clear when I tell you, you guys do not want to miss this event. No matter what era you from,
Hmm.
Hmm.
everybody can relate to the 90s. You
Yes.
Yeah.
know, hair, fashion, music, like so much came out of the 90s. And
That's
you
a
know,
fact.
it's like I was also nominated as the best natural stylist.
Okay.
I was, I was a part of that category. So,
Nice.
you guys need to come and see if I win or not now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that is
Absolutely.
October 30th, and
Yeah.
October the
tickets
30th.
available at eventbrite.com.
Yes,
Right. Yeah.
eventbrite.com. Make
For
sure you
sure.
guys get your tickets
Yeah,
and
yeah.
make sure you guys come out dressed fresh to death with your 90s
Okay.
gear on
The
Yeah.
90s, yeah.
because they got a cash prize going to the
Nice.
Mm.
best 90s dress. So,
I'll come out there
Yeah.
like Milli Vanilli.
I
I
might
mean,
gotta
hey,
see if I can pull the car Kanai out.
Carl
look, you don't even
Kanai.
listen. If you
Cross
come out
colors.
as
See
Millie
if I got
Vanilli,
my
you don't
cross
have to say
colors.
nothing. If
I
you
know,
come out
that's
as
Yeah,
true.
Millie
yeah,
Vanilli,
yeah.
you
That's
just
true. An instant winner. Instant winner.
You
Yeah.
can lip sync your speech.
Yeah. You got to stay in character the whole time. I ain't saying
that
nothing all
is
night.
hilarious. That is
Yeah.
That's
hilarious,
crazy.
guys.
Also,
Yeah.
Katrina, I'm gonna get you to do some live commentary on what's happening in this video we about to show. Okay, see if you
Yeah, yeah. We're
recognize
gonna
this.
pop up one of your
Look
videos and
like you
walk the
teaching
people
something.
through it.
Let's see what we got. All right. So what this is recently actually a week ago, I went out to Winthrop University. I was invited out by the Blueprints of Winthrop.
Okay.
They did an event with Collegiate Curls, and basically what it is a group of college students who are being very intentional about
Okay.
creating their own blueprints for the
Mm-hmm.
things that they find important.
Nice.
This particular event was based on natural hair, making sure that they know how to take care of their basic, the basic needs of,
Mm-hmm.
natural hair, and
Right.
it was troubling to see that, so many of our youth, they don't, really know the basics
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to
of
be
what
taught,
to
huh?
of what to do. Some people don't realize that something as simple as shampooing your hair is so important. Knowing what type of shampoos you need, um it really means something.
Yeah.
So that was a
Yeah.
very compassionate event for me. They
Yeah.
invited me out. I talked to them about their hair. We did the cornrow braiding panel.
Okay.
Very, very exciting.
That's
So the
awesome.
next thing that they have planned is financial freedom.
Okay.
So it's like a group of it's I'm so compassionate for them
Mm-hmm.
because seeing that drive in them, it makes me want to work harder. It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's a way of giving back too, which oftentimes people forget about, reaching back and either pulling someone along, helping them in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
way, or
Yeah.
giving back in a form of service to the community, just for the
Right.
next,
Because those young
you know
ladies,
what I
they
mean?
did fundraisers. They raised money to pay me for that event. I gave it
Hmm.
back. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
That's awesome.
whatever I can do to make sure they get to the next level, that's how,
Yeah.
things gonna have to proceed after us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
That's
means
right.
we need to be very intentional about the generations after us.
Yeah.
We have to. We have
Absolutely.
to. And it's nothing. I think there's nothing really more fulfilling. And I think it doesn't matter what industry that we may be in, whether it's me doing music or as well as famous, or you being involved in beauty and hair. There's nothing more
Right.
Yeah.
fulfilling than when you can see that you've inspired a kid or a younger person, a teenager, a young adult who you may have inspired or motivated to maybe stay
Right.
on a certain path, um,
Yeah.
as it pertains to the industry or your service or even just life. There's different ways of different levels of mentorship. So that's also the
Yeah.
key to
That's
involved in
awesome.
the community on that level as well.
Yeah.
Right.
This
And to
is
just
great.
be open.
Yeah.
Even though, like I told them, even though you guys are in college, that don't mean that you're gonna do what you think you're gonna do right now. Like I'm a
You can
prime
say that
example of
again.
that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I'm a prime example of that. Like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
Mhm.
mean that what you're doing right now is not going to be a part of your process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my
Right.
business degree has a specialization in environmental technology.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
everything I've learned, I've been able to apply it and implement it in
Yeah.
my business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
That's
testament.
awesome. That's
That's a
awesome.
testament. Hey, this was
Oh
great.
yeah.
This was
This has
great.
been a
Thank
great
you.
conversation, and we don't
Yeah.
want to hold you all night.
Thank you
We
so much.
we over an hour.
Yeah.
We normally go to about 8 o'clock, but
It was just
we can go
going.
past the curfew a little bit.
A
You know.
little bit past the
It's
curfew.
fine. You guys
Yeah.
can invite me back anytime,
Yes, for
anytime.
Yeah.
I'm here
sure.
for
For
it.
sure. Let's
Yeah.
hear it
Yeah.
from Miss Katrina Mack for joining us today,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
This was
Yes.
great. Thank you.
I think
Thank you
Faith had
so
Thank
much.
you guys.
one
Thank you
more
so
comment.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nas was great. Faith had one more comment. Famous, you cut
Yeah,
my
yeah,
thumb.
yeah, definitely. Faith says so many young girls and boys who could benefit from our stories. What we go
Amen.
through is not just for us, but to help someone else. Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
always to help someone
Yeah.
else, Faith. You better come on through,
You better
Faith,
come
because
on.
that's
You
a
better
whole
come with
word
it.
right there.
Yeah, and that's
Absolutely.
part of the purpose as well. You know.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
helping
what I mean. That's what
someone.
we love to do here as well. Just kind of share these experiences
Oh yeah.
because
Yes.
somebody needs to
And
hear it. You know, share
yes,
it with
and
your
I wanted
people.
definitely I wanted to say before I hop off, I really am grateful and honored to be a part of you guys' panel
Oh,
tonight.
yeah.
It's been an honor. I love it here. Like I said, you guys can invite me back anytime.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This
And we
was a
will.
very encouraging moment for me because
Wow.
you know how you know I spoke on wanting to start a podcast, right? But it was some
Hmm.
fear there
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
with
yeah.
me.
We had them conversations.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so in my mind, I'm thinking, I gotta have this, I gotta have that.
Sure.
I can overthink sometimes, right?
Yeah.
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 And so, he's like, no, man, like just do it.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
do it. Yeah. Reach
You
out.
know,
We'll help you. We'll help you.
just
Yeah.
do it. And it's like, okay, like you said, it was hard for me getting here at first, but I'm here and being here tonight, it gave me a level of comfort about
Oh,
Great.
something else that I wanted to do.
That's great.
So I
awesome.
That's great.
appreciate that.
Oh,
See how
thank
things
you.
work? That's crazy, ain't
Thank
it?
you.
I
Absolutely.
Yeah.
appreciate that.
No, for
We definitely
sure, for sure.
appreciate
That's
you
what
for
I
being
always
here.
would tell you. Like, you do it. You don't need a whole lot of this, a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
The main
Yeah.
Right.
thing, the main thing is just doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
I think like with anything else, once you start, then you realize, or just having the opportunity just to to be on the platform. I think you
Mm-hmm.
see
Right.
how comfortable it can
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
Right.
participating in a podcast, a video
Yeah.
cast, whatever the technical term
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
needed like God always make a way. He the
That's
man.
Yeah,
right.
and then you can
That's
have
right.
us. Then you can have us on your platform
Yeah.
It's
as guests.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely we're gonna be talking about hair.
That's
So
right.
we
yeah,
all gonna know what he
Well,
gonna be. We gonna talk about
yeah,
scalp with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
yeah. You gotta
His
keep
his
mine
conversation gonna be
moisturized.
real short.
Yes, your scalp moisture is very important.
Be-
Scalp
it's gonna be
moisture
a
is
short show.
very listen,
Hey,
scalp moisture
yeah,
is very important.
Thank you. It definitely
yeah. It's
is.
gonna be a
Definitely
real
is.
short text message on that one.
My man.
Hey, they gonna hit you with the K.
That's all. Just the K. That's all I get
The
is the
K.
K. Cause I
No,
got
you
Oh
get more than
not
man.
that.
not much to talk about.
I have a whole section on skin and scalp.
Oh, cool, cool. Definitely, I'll check it out too.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, we have to do that, man.
go
Yeah.
ahead and
So,
close us
guys,
out, brother.
I was just gonna say, guys, be sure one more time. Thank you to Miss Katrina
Mm-hmm.
Mack for joining
Yes,
us
Thank
tonight.
for
you.
sure.
Thank
Guys,
you
be
guys.
sure
I
to go
really,
back in
really
the
enjoyed
comments,
this.
follow her. Yeah, great. Be sure you go back in the comments, guys, and follow her on all her social
Mm-hmm.
media platforms. If you're catching the replay, be sure
Yeah.
to do the same. And we want to say thank you to everyone at home who tuned in with us tonight, giving us a little bit of your time and
Mm-hmm.
energy so we could do what we needed to do.
Yes, sir.
Listen, faith. There's all things work together
Yes.
for good. So many good things come from this episode tonight. Thank you, Katrina. My
Thank you,
sister
Katrina.
has a business, A Touch of Faith. She handmade wreaths, decor, t-shirts, masks, things like that. She's in the she's
Well, you need to
uh,
put Faith
curriculum.
information in the
Yeah,
comments.
a touch of
Yeah, yeah,
faith.
yes.
A
Faith, put
touch of
because she
faith.
goes live and stuff. She's been on the platform, but yeah,
Yeah.
please, Faith, drop your page in there.
Yeah, I mean,
You
because
know,
we're a community. We got to help and support one another.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. Matt,
Absolutely.
if you're still on, drop your page. Mom, if you're still on, drop your page. Shout
Yeah.
out to my mom too. I don't think I got to speak to her earlier,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you were in the middle of
Everybody.
yeah,
And so I'll go
middle of
follow
yeah,
everybody,
Yeah.
follow
Everybody
for
put
follow,
your stuff
so
in the
we can support
comments.
one another.
For sure.
yeah,
Definitely important.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we're
All right,
trying to do
folks.
ultimately, is build a community of people who do different things, and we don't have to
Yeah.
really
I
extend
mean,
too
shoot,
far
you
with
guys
our
are doing it.
Thank
You
you.
are
grind.
doing
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
it.
Thank
You
you.
doing it? All right, all right. Cool. I'm gonna take
Yes,
your
you're
word
doing
for
it.
it.
All right. Absolutely.
We'll take your word for it. This has been great. I just want to remind everyone that the Hall of Fame, the North Carolina Hall of Fame inductions are Thursday night in Kannapolis, North Carolina. We 2 days away. We got rehearsals tomorrow. If you haven't got your tickets yet, please go to North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.org. That's Thursday night. Then Friday night, also Stephanie Mills is getting inducted. Janet Pascal and a few others. Bernard Edwards, and we're playing the tribute for
Mm.
him as well. Friday night, the chairman of the board will be in Hopkins, South Carolina, for the festival out there. I think it's a barbecue festival, and then Saturday is another barbecue festival in Lexington, North
Cool.
They love
Carolina. We're gonna
barbecue,
be
boy,
swim,
in the
swimming in the
Carolinas.
swine this weekend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But please go to the chairmanoftheboard.com, ladies and gentlemen, for all the details for Hopkins and for Lexington, North Carolina. And lastly, and one, as I aforementioned, North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.org for tickets for Thursday night in Kannapolis. Yeah,
Absolutely. And
yeah,
that's a
that's
wrap.
about all I got.
That's a wrap. Thank you again,
Thank
Miss
you so
Katrina
much.
Mack, for joining us. Thanks everybody for joining in. Make sure you follow us on the YouTube page at No
Yeah,
Shortcuts, and we'll see you
yeah.
next week.
And share this. You
Share,
heard? We
Absolutely
go
guys.
share
see
Share.
it.
y'all
Share the
next week.
love.
Good
Yeah.
night. Good night. Peace. One. Stay on.